Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we will be doing a first impressions on Wednesday. So, this is a series I was kind of going back and forth on whether or not I was going to react to or just watch on my own time, and I decided the latter. I thought, I want to just sit back and enjoy this, maybe lay in my bed and watch it at night, stuff like that. This is something I don't want to have to put the pressure on to watch and react to, so I decided just do this on my own time and doing first impressions of it, of course. So Wednesday is obviously based on Wednesday Addams of the Addams Family. Classic series that got its start as a comic strip, then eventually an animated series in, I want to say, the 80s? Maybe the 70s, I'm not 100% sure. But then it eventually started getting movies and everything, other live action projects here and there. And it just kind of spiraled and became pretty damn well known, pretty strong in the public conscious. To the point where nowadays, even something as simple as finger snapping twice in a row, is seen as a reference to the Addams Family because of the theme song. So Wednesday focuses on Jenna Ortega's portrayal of the classic character, but does feature classic movie actress Christina Ricci. Is it Ricci or Ricky? I'm not 100% sure. I think it's Ricci. But she played Wednesday Addams in some live action movies from the 90s, and she's actually back in a guest role in this, so that's pretty fun. So I watched the first episode, and so far it's really, really good. Without going into spoilers here, it basically, as we know from the trailer and everything, Wednesday is being sent to this private school because of her shenanigans, I guess you could say, in public schools. And now she has to deal with the strange things that are happening there. Really strange things. Jenna Ortega is fantastic as Wednesday. I'll just say that right off the bat. She really owns the role in a way that really no one else but Christina Ricci has been able to. Really, no one else, whether through voice acting or live action, has been able to completely own the role in the same way that either of them have. Christina Ricci's is a lot more dark and brooding of a character, or not Christina Ricci's. Jenna Ortega's is a lot more dark and brooding than Christina Ricci's was. Christina's was a lot more sarcastic and dark humorous and whatnot. She had a lot of the world around me sucks kind of energy, but not I hate everything kind of energy, if that makes any sense. While Jenna Ortega's Wednesday is very much I hate everything, I hate everyone, you all suck, fuck you kind of energy. And it's Jesus, girl. There's... I can't go into too much here without getting into the spoilers. I'll talk about spoilery stuff in a bit. But she very much feels a lot meaner, if that makes any sense, than Wednesday normally has been portrayed as. I don't know. It's just... It takes a little getting used to. There's other characters in here, like you see in the trailer. She has this roommate who's pretty opposite of her, very bubbly and cheerful and colorful and whatnot. They have a good contrast, and they work really well off of each other. The actresses do a great job, exactly that, working well off of each other. And then you have, obviously, guest acting performances in this, such as Luis Gomez and Catherine Zeta-Jones as Gomez and Morticia. And there was a lot of controversy over these choices, specifically Luis Guzman. And I never understood that, because it's like Luis Guzman kind of looks like the classic, the classic Gomez. He kind of looks like him. How he looked in the original comics and how he looks in the original animated series and the recent animated movies, which are done in the style of the comics and everything, even if the actual movies themselves aren't that good. But the like visual style, like you get it. Luis Guzman looks like that. And yet they're like, no, but Gomez has to be like this playboy type of character, and everything. It's like, okay, I liked Raul Julia and Tim Curry's performances as Gomez. I did. But that is not a technically accurate Gomez. Gomez is supposed to be a weird gremlin of a character. And there were some people who were also complaining about him being about the fact that it's Luis Guzman because of him being Hispanic. And it's like, the dude's name is fucking Gomez. You don't think he's Hispanic? You don't think he's... What? That never made any sense to me. Like, I think people were just being racist to be racist. And it's like, oh, because the other actors were, like, not Hispanic. Well, actually, I don't know, like, what ethnicity Raul Julia was. Or is. Is he still alive? I don't know. Either way. But it's like... It's ridiculous that there are people actually bitching about that. And mind you, it's obvious that with this focusing almost entirely on Wednesday specifically, Gomez and Morticia, like, that was obvious from the trailer that they're not major characters in this. They're basically small roles. So it's not like they're even going to be this big focus in the series. So why are people bitching like that? It just, there's no logic to it. People just like to bitch. You also get to see just a lot of darker, like, styles and tones in this film. Partially thanks to Tim Burton and everything, through his work on this. You can very much see his style in this, but it's also, like, just generally a lot darker than you would expect. Like, I went into this thinking, like, oh, okay, there's probably going to be, like, some hints of things and everything here, hints of some dark shit, and it's like, oh, no, it's showing shit. Oh, fuck. This is a lot darker than I thought it was going to be. But again, can't really talk about all that without getting into the spoiler stuff. So I think, just general thoughts without the spoilers. Yeah, I really liked it. It surprised me in a lot of ways. And I think the actors did a great job. I think they embody the characters in new and classic ways. But let's actually get into the spoilery stuff. So, this is your warning. If you have not seen the first episode of Wednesday on Netflix, I would suggest doing so before continuing on, unless you just don't mind the spoilers. Either way, we will begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, like I said, this focuses on Wednesday starting to go to this private school. And the private school is known for being this haven for weirdos, for the outcasts. But not like just social outcasts, like lone wolf kind of people, but like lone wolf kind of people. As in werewolves, as in sirens, as in vampires, and literal ones. Like, there is just straight up literal monsters in this. And even Wednesday's roommate is a werewolf herself, though has not fully unlocked her powers yet. The first episode, at least, chronicles Wednesday's just kind of beginning to go here. And as she gets there, we find out that she actually seems to have it in for her parents. She hates them right now and thinks that they're trying to force her to become just a carbon copy of them, which is like a completely big difference from how things normally are with these characters. Usually, the Addams family are very close knit, very tight. Um, Having it change to where Wednesday actually resents them and kind of hates them and is treating them like shit is really shocking. And it's almost a trope nowadays where it's like, oh, the young character hates their families and wants to branch out and become their own person, but eventually realizes they can do that while still loving and acknowledging where they came from and everything. And it's like that's kind of a big trope in the recent decade, the recent years, and all. And it's just like, why though? Is it necessary here? Like, it's not done poorly; it's done well. It just feels like, is it necessary to have put this in here? Why are we making Wednesday like overly moody like this? And again, Jenna Ortega does an amazing job. The performance is great. I have no issue with that. It's just the choice to do it in the first place is just weird. Not bad, but weird. And throughout the episode, there's this recurring mystery of what is this monster in the woods. At the end, we finally get to see it, not entirely in full, but a good amount of it, and it's not good CG. I understand this is a Netflix show, probably doesn't have like the biggest budget ever, but by God, that was so fake looking. Like, I don't know if that was the intent, maybe just to keep with the style and tone and everything, to so have it be a little goofier and cartoonish looking and fake looking, but it very much was bad CG. And I don't even complain about that much. I'm usually a lot more accepting of CG and stuff, but that was bad. But the monster, nonetheless, is kind of this neutral party, it seems, at the moment. Like, it helped Wednesday at the end. But also, it's killing people. And I talked about this before with how dark this series can go and like how far it goes into it. We see people die. We see a dude with his body parts strewn all over the forest. We see another kid, a kid, mind you, be ripped into. And it's like, it's not like the most gory thing you've ever seen or whatnot, but it doesn't hold back. It's scary in those parts. It's genuinely shocking how intense it is. Characters are dying pretty notably, and it's really interesting. There's also an aspect as well I don't think was in previous incarnations. Wednesday has these visions throughout the episode where she's having these precognitive visions, especially when she touches certain people and she can see things that are going to happen. She touches this one guy who's selling some produce and sees that he's going to get into an accident. Later on in the episode, we see that has happened and that he died having broke his neck in the accident. Which is also another really gruesome moment because it shows him with the broken neck and oh my God, it's really actually gruesome looking. But like that's just an example. She sees these visions at multiple points, and then we also find out that there's this other guy whose mother was a seer and had prophesied 20 years in the past about a girl who would destroy the academy. And the girl in the drawing happens to look just like Wednesday looks now. So That's interesting. We have a prophecy kind of situation going on here. And we have a bunch of other characters who are kind of showing up, and you kind of wonder what their role is going to be. There's this one character who knew Wednesday when they were kids, and he kind of seems like he could go either way as being a good guy or a bad guy. You have this guy who's the son of a sheriff of a nearby town called Jericho, and he seems like he's trying to help Wednesday, but also could possibly be a bad guy. You have this social worker who Wednesday is court ordered to see. You have the dorm mother who Wednesday is under at the academy. You have the headmistress of the academy, who is also very suspicious. It's just like there's a lot of suspicion going around. Who's the monster? What's going on here? Are there darker secrets than we know? Why is Gomez wanted for murder? And why is this a big surprise, like, mystery? It's Gomez. He's probably killed a shit ton of people. Why is this a mystery? Like, it's the Addams Family. But yeah, there's also some little fun moments of humor, especially with Thing. When Thing Thing is working with Wednesday in the episode, and when Wednesday sends him to deliver a message to do a video chat with the guy, the son of the sheriff and everything. Like the dude who's not used to all this freaky shit is like freaking out at Thing at first and trying to hit it. But then when he sees the message, he calms down a lot and has the conversation with Wednesday and everything. But it's like it's just a really like almost comedic moment. But the overall tone of the series seems to be pretty serious. It seems to be going for a pretty serious, dark, macabre story, with a little bit of comedy added in here and there, a little bit of charm and everything. You definitely get Tim Burton's feel here, like without question. You definitely get an Addams Family feel. It feels like what it needs to be while also modernizing it. And it does modernize it because you get mentions of stuff like Instagram and whatnot and TikTok in here. But it's genuinely charming. And I think it does a good job at doing what it needs to do while changing the formula up a little bit. So I'm definitely interested to see where it goes from here. But all of that being said, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of the first episode of Wednesday? And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.